12 strange behaviors that are normal in other countries. Did you know that the OK sign means money in Japan, zero in France, and is even considered a sexual insult in Brazil? Yikes! That's definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in. Culture and location sure can make a difference when it comes to appropriate behavior and gestures. Let's take a look at some of the biggest differences around the world. But first, be sure to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us on the bright side. Number 1. In Denmark, people have picnics in cemeteries. For most of us, a cemetery is reserved for grieving families and an overall gloomy atmosphere. But believe it or not, it's not that uncommon to see a happy Danish family having a picnic or a young couple sunbathing there. And the most popular location for this is the Assisten Cemetery in Copenhagen. The thing is, with beautiful leafy trees and paths, it's one of the largest green zones in the country. That's why this cemetery quickly turned into an important cultural site where concerts, theatrical shows, and other big events take place throughout the year. So if you ever go to Denmark, don't forget to visit this unusual cemetery, with people having the time of their lives near some of the most famous people's graves. Number 2, people in Thailand don't let others touch their head. In many countries, patting someone on the head is a sign of approval and care, but that's not the case in Thailand. Thai people strongly believe that the head is the most sacred and important part of the body, where your soul resides. That's why only the people who are closest to you can touch it. This rule applies to Thai statues as well. In fact, it's so serious that your barber or hairdresser will probably apologize in advance for touching your head. Passing something or raising your feet, which are considered dirty and profane, by the way, over someone's head isn't a good idea either. If you accidentally do it, be sure to sincerely apologize. Number 3. In many Muslim countries, the left hand is considered the dirty one. Apparently, it's not that easy to be left-handed in many Arab and Muslim countries since the left hand is seen as unclean and dirty in their culture. However, there's a very simple explanation for this. Muslims usually use their left hand to clean themselves after going to the bathroom. You must use your right hand for greeting people and eating meals. Actually, the less you use your left hand while visiting a Muslim country, the better. Number 4. In Norway, people don't compliment others to their face. People in Norway are way more subtle with their compliments than, say, Americans are. They don't really like to put others on the spot and make them feel embarrassed by their words. That's why you'll rarely hear clear and direct compliments coming your way. But that doesn't mean Norwegian people aren't friendly. They're incredibly welcoming and polite. They just like to take your feelings, whatever they may be, into consideration here too. Number 5. People in Malaysia point with their thumb. In Malaysia, pointing at someone with your index finger is considered really rude and offensive. You can kinda get away with this if you point at an animal or an object. But when it comes to people, Malaysians use another hand gesture. They close their right hand into a fist, put their thumb on top to show their respect, and only then point at someone. This tradition is pretty common in the Philippines and Indonesia as well. Number 6. Koreans don't write names in red. In a lot of countries, it's perfectly fine to use red ink to make someone's written name even more noticeable. In South Korea, though, locals would never do something like that. This superstition goes back to the times when red ink was used to write deceased people's names on the family register. Nowadays, if the person is still alive, writing their name with red ink means that you wish them harm, bad luck, and even death. That's why it's better to avoid red pens and pencils in Korean language classes as well, just in case. Number 7. In Australia, sitting in the back of a taxi is rude. In the US, sitting in the front passenger seat next to the taxi driver would be really weird. That's why it's more common in America to sit in the back of the taxi. But in Australia, New Zealand, Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands, sitting in the back can be considered impolite. Of course, everyone is different, but some people still perceive it as snobbish and arrogant. So if you take the front passenger seat and casually talk to the driver while visiting these countries, they'll certainly appreciate it. Number 8. Tibetans show their tongue to greet others. If you go to Tibet, you're guaranteed to have fun every time you meet someone, simply because Tibetans often stick their tongue out to say hello. This strange tradition originates from past times. During the 9th century, Tibet was ruled by a cruel king named Long Dharma, who happened to have a black tongue. Given that Tibetans strongly believe in reincarnation, they started to stick their tongue out when greeting one another to show that they're not the incarnation of the barbaric king and don't carry evil within them. Nowadays, some Tibetans don't really follow this tradition anymore, but you can still find those who will stick their tongue out to welcome you to their country. Number 9. People in China celebrate their birthday according to the lunar calendar. In China, as well as in some other East Asian countries, people have quite a unique approach to their age. First of all, the Chinese believe that people are born at the age of 1, not 0 like in the West. Plus, people in China add 1 year to their total age on their Lunar New Year's Day. That's why people in China can be 1 or even 2 years older in their age counting system than in the international one. It'd be kinda cool to know that you're actually younger in some place in the world, don't you think? Number 10. The Vietnamese consider crossed fingers offensive. We usually cross our fingers when we want good luck, but Vietnamese people have a completely different opinion when it comes to this hand gesture. In Vietnam, crossing your index and middle fingers over each other represents genitals, obviously making it an incredible offensive gesture to show someone. Yeah, definitely avoid that one when visiting Vietnam. Number 11. Indians don't say thank you too often. You probably try to thank your waiter at the end of a wonderful meal at a restaurant, or perhaps the cashier at the grocery store. Well, Indians take thank you way more seriously. If you say it in the wrong context, where it'll sound insincere, it may even get you into trouble. Indians also believe that duty is a thankless job, but that doesn't mean that Indian people are ungrateful. They just prefer to show unspoken gratitude. They're a lot choosier with their words and usually express only sincere and heartfelt emotions verbally. Number 12. Maasai tribe members spit at each other to show respect. I bet if you spat on your friend as a greeting, they'd most certainly unfriend you forever. Heck, in a lot of places, spitting on someone can even land you in a fist fight. But for the Maasai people of Kenya and northern Tanzania, spitting at one another is seen as a sign of blessing and respect. They also often spit on their palms before shaking hands. In fact, when a baby is born, their parents, along with their friends and family members, spit on the newborn to wish it good luck and a long, prosperous life. Maasai wedding traditions also involve spitting. When a father gives his daughter away to her future husband, he should spit on her forehead and breasts to bless the happy couple. Sounds like a Maasai wedding would definitely be a sight to see. Do you know any other strange behaviors that are considered totally normal in other countries? Tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe. Always stay on the bright side of life.